The Indiana Fever's coach, Lynn Dunn, has sparked a heated debate with her recent claim about Caitlin Clark, a talented player renowned for her exceptional skills and court leadership. Dunn contends that Clark's absence from the 2024 Olympics roster was due to concerns about her on-court confrontations with opponents. This could have jeopardized the team's performance and led to her exclusion. Before we proceed, I kindly ask you to take a moment to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the YouTube channel. By doing so, you will stay updated on the latest news and developments related to Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. I appreciate your support. Let's delve into the debate surrounding the exclusion of Caitlin Clark from the Olympics. There are important questions to be asked about the fairness of the decision to leave her out based on her on-field encounters. We must critically examine the claims made and argue that Clark's competitive nature should not overshadow her sportsmanship and character. Instead of focusing solely on her battles on the field, let's look at her overall contributions and behavior as an athlete. It's time to present a balanced view of the situation and challenge the reasons for her exclusion from the Olympic team. Caitlin Clark is known for her fierce on-field battles, which showcase her competitive spirit and playing style. To truly appreciate the significance of these confrontations, it's important to understand the intense and physical nature of basketball. In this high-energy sport, players consistently push themselves to the limit, engaging in aggressive plays and riveting face-offs that often lead to electrifying moments on the court. Clark's involvement in such battles is a testament to her commitment and competitive spirit. In high-stakes games, such as those against top rivals like South Carolina and UConn, the level of play intensifies significantly. These games are not just about winning, they are about showcasing skill under pressure and navigating through formidable defenses. It is during these moments that players, including Clark, often face physical and strategic challenges from opponents aiming to disrupt their performance. The nature of these confrontations should be understood as part of the sport's competitive environment. In games with high pressure and critical outcomes, players are expected to push their limits and adapt to aggressive tactics from their rivals. For Clark, this means encountering physical defenses and engaging in intense on-court interactions. Such moments, while they might appear aggressive, are often driven by the nature of competitive play rather than personal fault. Clark's ability to handle these situations speaks to her resilience and skill. Rather than being indicative of unsportsmanlike conduct, these battles reflect her determination and the high level of competition she faces. It is important to recognize that in a sport as dynamic as basketball, such confrontations are common and do not necessarily reflect a player's character or suitability for high-level competition. In competitive sports, confrontations and intense exchanges on the field are often seen as a natural outcome of the high-stakes environment. Basketball, by its very nature, is a physical and competitive game that frequently involves aggressive play and strategic maneuvering. It is crucial to understand that these on-court confrontations are part and parcel of the sport's dynamic nature and should not be construed as personal failings or indications of poor sportsmanship. The intensity of basketball games, particularly in critical matchups and high-pressure situations, leads to physical play and competitive interactions. Players like Caitlin Clark often find themselves in heated exchanges as they navigate through formidable defenses and respond to aggressive tactics from opponents. These confrontations are typically a result of the game's competitive demands and the high level of talent on the court rather than any inherent flaw in the player's behavior. Clark's confrontations can be seen as a testament to her competitive spirit and resilience. The nature of these battles reflects her commitment to excelling in challenging situations, not a propensity for unsportsmanlike conduct. In many cases, such interactions are provoked by the aggressive defense strategies employed by opponents equally determined to win. Thus, the confrontations involving Clark are part of the broader competitive context rather than isolated instances of misconduct. Furthermore, addressing these confrontations requires acknowledging that basketball is an inherently aggressive sport where players often engage in physical and strategic duels. The intensity of these exchanges does not necessarily imply a lack of sportsmanship. Rather, they reflect the high level of competition and the physicality required to succeed at elite levels. Clark's ability to handle such situations with skill and composure underlines her professionalism and dedication to the game, rather than any fault in her approach or character. In essence, the rationale behind Caitlin Clark's confrontations on the basketball court stems from the inherent nature of competitive basketball. These heightened intensity and physical play are fundamental to the sport. They should be considered within the broader context of Clark's overall performance and sportsmanship, rather than being perceived as negative indications of her suitability for high-profile events like the Olympics. They should be seen as integral components of her competitive spirit and dedication to the game. Coach Lynn Dunn's assertion that Caitlin Clark was excluded from the 2024 Olympics due to her on-field confrontations raises several critical questions about the validity and fairness of the decision. According to Dunn, the concern was that Clark's confrontations with opponents could jeopardize the team's standing and lead to disqualification. However, this claim warrants closer scrutiny to assess whether it is a justified reason for Clark's exclusion or if other factors might be at play. Firstly, it is essential to consider the nature of the confrontations. Basketball, by its competitive nature, involves moments of high tension and physical play. Such interactions are commonplace in the sport and are not typically grounds for disqualification. The rules and regulations governing international basketball do not usually penalize players for competitive behavior unless it involves egregious unsportsmanlike conduct or rule violations. In Clark's case, her confrontations were a natural part of high-stakes games. They were not known to affect behavior that would typically lead to severe consequences. Moreover, the claim that Clark's confrontations posed a significant risk of team disqualification seems disproportionate when viewed in the broader context of competitive sports. Many players experience intense on-field interactions without facing repercussions that affect their eligibility for major tournaments. It is important to evaluate whether Clark's confrontations were truly out of the ordinary or were being used as a convenient explanation for other underlying reasons for her exclusion. Additionally, Coach Dunn's decision and the reasons provided should be examined for potential biases or alternative motivations. The choice to exclude a player from an event as significant as the Olympics should be based on a comprehensive assessment of their performance, behavior, and overall contribution to the team. If Clark's confrontations were not indicative of unsportsmanlike conduct, but rather a result of competitive play, it raises questions about whether the decision was fair or if there were other factors influencing the exclusion. Upon analysis, it becomes evident that Coach Lynn Dunn's assertions regarding Caitlin Clark's on-field confrontations as a pivotal reason for her omission from the 2024 Olympics merit closer scrutiny. The intensity of basketball naturally gives rise to such incidents, and using them as the primary basis for disqualifying a player from a major tournament appears to oversimplify the situation's complexity. It is imperative to thoroughly examine whether Clark's exclusion resulted from a comprehensive and equitable assessment of her overall contributions and character, or if other undisclosed factors may have influenced the decision-making process. Caitlin Clark is widely recognized as one of the most talented and influential players in contemporary basketball. Her on-court performances and contributions to the sport should be celebrated and appreciated for their impact and excellence, rather than being overshadowed by isolated moments of on-field confrontation. Clark's achievements in college basketball are remarkable and underscore her skill, leadership, and dedication. She has consistently demonstrated exceptional talent, leading her team with impressive statistics and pivotal performances. Her ability to perform under pressure, particularly in high-stakes games, has earned her a reputation as a clutch player and a key asset to her team. These accomplishments reflect her deep understanding of the game, her work ethic, and her commitment to success. Moreover, Caitlin Clark is known for her sportsmanship and professionalism. Her competitive spirit, while evident in her high-intensity play, is balanced by a respectful approach to the game and her opponents. Many of her on-field interactions, which might be interpreted as aggressive, reflect her drive to excel and her response to the high level of competition. Her conduct on and off the court has garnered respect from teammates, coaches, and competitors alike. In addition to her on-court achievements, Clark's positive influence extends beyond basketball. She serves as a role model for aspiring athletes, demonstrating that excellence in sports is achieved through a combination of talent, hard work, and integrity. Her contributions to the game and her role as a leader in her team highlight her ability to inspire others and positively impact the sport. The decision to focus on Caitlin Clark's confrontations without acknowledging her substantial contributions to basketball presents a skewed view of her capabilities and character. Her performances and achievements should be recognized as the true measure of her value as an athlete. By highlighting her strengths, leadership qualities, and positive influence, it becomes clear that Caitlin Clark's exclusion from the 2024 Olympics based on her on-field battles does not reflect her overall merit or character. In brief, Caitlin Clark's positive representation lies in her exceptional basketball skills, commendable sportsmanship, and profound influence on the sport. Instead of being overshadowed by sporadic moments of conflict, her outstanding accomplishments and professional conduct should be the central focus of any assessment. Clark's role as an exceptional player and esteemed leader in the sport proves her suitability for prestigious events such as the Olympics. It should be duly recognized in all discussions about her career and impact. The ongoing discussion regarding the potential exclusion of Caitlin Clark from the 2024 Olympics as a result of the allegations made by Coach Lynn Dunn about her on-field confrontations brings to light several significant considerations. It is important to recognize that competitive basketball is inherently characterized by moments of heightened intensity and physical play. While these confrontations may be conspicuous and noteworthy, they are an inherent and accepted aspect of the sport and therefore should not serve as the sole basis for disqualifying a player from a prestigious event such as the Olympics. Clark's on-field battles should be understood within the context of the competitive environment of basketball. Such interactions are often a result of the high stakes and physicality of the game, rather than indications of personal fault or unsportsmanlike behavior. Her ability to handle these situations with skill and composure speaks to her professionalism and resilience as an athlete. Moreover, Coach Lynn Dunn's claims about the risk of disqualification due to Clark's confrontation seem to oversimplify the situation. They may not fully reflect the broader context of her contributions and conduct. It is important to question whether the reasons provided for Clark's exclusion are based on a fair assessment or if other factors might have influenced the decision. Caitlin Clark's achievements, sportsmanship, and positive influence in basketball should be recognized and celebrated. Her performances on the court and her role as a leader exemplify her talent and dedication, making her a deserving candidate for major events like the Olympics. The focus should be on her substantial contributions to the sport rather than isolated incidents that may not accurately represent her character. In light of the recent decision to exclude Caitlin Clark from the 2024 Olympics due to concerns about her on-field behavior, it is imperative to conduct a thorough analysis of the rationale behind this decision while considering the full scope of her athletic prowess. Caitlin's remarkable talent and significant positive influence on the sport cannot be overlooked, and any determination regarding her participation in the Olympics should be founded upon a comprehensive and equitable assessment of her athletic achievements and conduct.